Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 28 of Cyber Resilience 2025, Protecting What Matters. I'm Dr. Rhonda Farrell, your success strategist, the founder of CSTGIA. And this week, we're exploring one of the most under-discussed, high-impact intersections in today's risk landscape, the convergence of cyber risk and climate risk. As extreme weather events become more frequent, as we've just experienced in Texas, and our prayers and thoughts go with those families, and climate-driven disruptions escalate, the cyber attack surface is shifting. Infrastructure operations and recovery are now more vulnerable than ever. We're taking a bold and essential step into the intersection of these two most critical forces. Cyber risk and climate risk. Yes, you heard that right, because this week is all about resilience convergence, where environmental disruption and digital disruption meet. And trust me, they're meeting a lot in 2025. So why does this matter so much now? Well, as I said, not only our recent Texas flood, but record-setting heat waves, wildfires, and floods all across the country are stressing critical infrastructures, disrupting power grids, communication systems, and data centers. Disaster opportunism is on the rise. Cyber criminals often strike during climate chaos, targeting emergency systems, health providers, and utilities. And physical plus digital failures now cascade together. What was once a siloed, resilient strategy must now become an integrated one. This is no longer hypothetical, it's a compound threat reality. So the new normal for us is converging threats. Let's set the stage. Again, we're facing extreme weather at historic levels, wildfires, hurricanes, heat waves, and floods. At the same time, those cyber criminals are getting smarter, faster, and more opportunistic. So now let's combine the two and see what happens. A storm knocks out power, and a ransomware attack hits while systems are down. A wildfire causes an evacuation, and a deepfake SMS tells employees not to report it. A flood disables servers, and suddenly no one can authenticate to critical apps. This is the compound crisis era. Resilience isn't just digital anymore. It's operational, it's environmental, and it's cross-functional. Some additional real-world examples include the Texas winter freeze, where multiple hospitals and city systems lost power, then were hit with ransomware while scrambling to recover. In 2024, a major wildfire in Canada forced regional telecom shutdowns. Hackers exploited the chaos with SMS phishing campaigns mimicking evacuation alerts. And floods in Europe knocked out on-premise data centers, compromising authentication systems and forcing critical services offline. So climate disruption equals cyber opportunity for bad actors. Resilience must be both environmental and digital. So the new playbook is cyber climate resilience integration. And first is power and connectivity redundancy. So prepare for climate-induced outages. Invest in off-grid backup power, satellite internet, and cloud redundancy. Take an action here, and that's audit your office or data center continuity plan against climate-disrupted scenarios. The second is crisis simulation plus threat timing. Combine your cyber and climate risk tabletop exercises. Factor in resource constraints during disasters. Proaction, run a flood plus phishing or heat wave plus ransomware simulation. Number 3, trusted communication channels. Assume that primary comms will fail. So build those trusted fallback channels to alert employees, vendors, and your customers. Proaction, document your secondary communication plan. Who calls who, how, and from where. And lastly, climate-aware vendor and supply chain risk. Does your MSP, data provider, or your cloud vendor operate in climate vulnerable zones? Have they disclosed their continuity strategy? Proaction, add climate readiness to your vendor due diligence and cyber insurance questions. As an extra bonus, policy meets preparedness. Most insurers and regulators now require integrated resilience plans. ESG plus cyber plus crisis is your new audit checklist. Proaction, align your cyber GRC playbook with business continuity and ESG teams. So this week's challenge. And a case study first. The hospital that stayed online. In early 2025, a coastal hospital faced a dual threat. Hurricane Nigel wiped out regional power, and cyber criminals launched a ransomware campaign during the chaos. But what did this hospital do? They had solar backups. They had VPN tokens pre-distributed to staff. They had redundant cloud-based patient records, and they had an AI-based SOC with offline capability. Result, they stayed operational, patients were treated, and systems were ultimately recovered within 36 hours. That's cyber climate resilience in action. So your challenge for this week is to identify one climate risk your organization may face: flood, fire, outage, extreme heat, etc. Assess how that risk could impact your cyber posture, from response times to comms. Update one key policy and run a short simulation. Bonus pro tip: invite your climate risk officer, ESG lead, and/or your facilities manager into your next cyber planning meeting. So what is the major climate-related risk for your business? Can you map that out, how it might intersect with the cyber event? And what can you do to help your business become more resilient? Is that add climate readiness to a vendor assessment, running a simulation for dual threats, or drafting a what-if plan with your ESG or facilities leads? Bonus, start that cross-functional meeting with cyber plus climate plus continuity teams. So you might want to ask yourself and your teams, what climate disruptions are most likely to hit us in the next 12 to 24 months? How, theoretically, would a cyber attack be layered on top of that disruption, and how would it impact your business? Does your business have a real-time communication plan that survives a total blackout? Are your vendors climate secure and cyber resilient? And then who outside of IT should be at the table when planning for compound crisis? These questions are the new normal for resilient leadership. So cyber resilience without climate resilience is incomplete. In a connected world, our threats don't arrive one at a time. Unfortunately, they tend to arise all at once. So start planning now for convergence. Start building now for complexity. because the organizations that withstand the storms, both physical and digital, are not only the ones that survive, they thrive and lead. So resilience isn't just about preparing for the next threat. It's about preparing for the next 5, all of them that happens at once. As leaders, we have to zoom out, think beyond silos, build layered defenses, because in a world where storms are physical and digital, you are the architect of adaptive security. This has been week 28 of Cyber Resilience 2025. And next week, we're diving into cyber governance under pressure, strengthening oversight in times of crisis. Until then, stay alert, stay connected, and most of all, stay resilient.